Hello lovelies, this is Jenzilla and welcome to my YouTube. So today what I'm doing is a summer glam shadow. So it's dramatic, it is smoky, but it's still soft enough that you could wear at work on a sunny day and then just add lashes on, more highlighter, throw on like a sexy little evening dress and then go on with your day. So the techniques that I'm using are really simple. I'm not a professional. I literally do this for fun. I've always loved makeup, so I feel that it's easy enough for anyone to do, but beautiful enough that it makes it look like you're a real pro. I will be doing it in real time, so you know, it kind of gives you a gauge as to how long it will take to do. What I will tell you is definitely give yourself enough time when you're doing a smoky shadow. What a lot happens with people is that they rush it and then everything ends up, you know, smearing together, or it's too dark, or it just, you know, becomes a mess, because it can easily get out of control when you're working with dark matte colors. So the palette that I'm using for this entire look is my amazing Tarteist Pro by Tarte Cosmetic. This is the Amazonian Clay palette. I have to say I love this. It is one of my favorite buys that I've ever made. All the colors that I have on for this look are in this palette. If you do not have this brand or this particular palette, do not worry. You can definitely achieve this look with maybe a drugstore palette. Let me pull out one that I can think of the top of my head. Sorry guys, I should have brought this out before. But you know, I just feel like sometimes it's hard when people show like a really high-end palette and then, you know, that's not what you can have or can afford. My Rimmel Magnify Shadow palette, this one is the London Nudes Calling. Will have a lot of the same colors. So like that kind of smoky brown orange, the dark browns, you know, all that is in here. This one is more in a satin shimmery finish, but honestly, you can achieve the same concept with something that's drugstore. So again, don't feel like you need to go out and buy a Tarteist Pro palette, even though I highly recommend it. That's one of my investment pieces that I've never regretted. It just blends so beautifully and you can get a ton of looks out of it. But again, also I did a wing liner for this particular look. You don't have to do that. I will explain to you. You can definitely just use a, you know, kind of smokier look by using a kohl pencil. And I did do my face off of camera because I really wanted us to focus on the eyes. So again, please subscribe to my channel, like, comment. I do want interaction with you guys. I'm super passionate about this, as I always say. So, you know, I'm here putting myself out there, and I do hope that my content helps you. I hope it helps people. So I know that makeup isn't everything. Makeup is just something we happen to love. If you're watching this, obviously you're a makeup lover. You're wanting to learn something a little different. So, you know, hopefully you'll learn some techniques that you didn't know before. And like I said, I'm not a professional, so that means anyone could do this. Like, this look could be done by just anyone by simply following what I'm doing. So without further ado, let's get into my tutorial, and I hope you enjoy it. All right, so you're gonna notice that it is nighttime and that everything looks different. I'm even wearing a different top. So somehow for this portion of my video, which was the prep part, I somehow deleted a portion of it. So I'm reshooting it because I just couldn't leave you guys without this part. So you'll be needing tape here. The tape is to create that really nice sharp line so that we don't have to clean up a ton because we're working with smoky colors and there can be some fallout. Depending on the palette that you're using, you know, you will get different results. Fortunately, the one that I'm using, which is the Tarte Amazonian Clay palette, does not have a lot of fallout. And I am going to start with the Tarte Shape Tape, and I'm doing the light sand. This color is like Snow White on me, I'm aware. But I do like it to do eyeshadow looks because it actually gives me like this really beautiful base. So I'm applying it all over my eyelid, and that's literally what my eyeshadow base is going to be. And believe it or not, this color is actually like my color during the winter. I go from like really an oddly olivey pale color to like what I am right now, which is super tan. So going in with that color, it's gonna look crazy, I know, but this is just our canvas for eyeshadow. You can use any concealer that you like or eyeshadow base, whatever you prefer to work with. I just happen to love this. And then what I love about this palette, it is actually every color has a name, which is like super great. So with a BH Cosmetic brush 119, I'm going to go ahead and take the color Classic and apply it all over my lid. This is basically going to set that concealer in place, and it creates this really smooth base for all the other colors to go over and just for them to blend really nicely. So I'm going in there pretty generously. This color is actually going to just be like our little canvas. Like you're creating a eyeshadow masterpiece and you want to have a little base canvas there. And I know it looks crazy because it's like completely white right now, but once we add all those nice smoky colors, it's actually going to look really pretty. If you're not a fan of tape, don't use it. You know, you don't need the really sharp edges in particular for this look, but it does help. Like, it's kind of a guide and a little bit of a lazy girl trick. And then I'm going to use my favorite brush, which, because like I said, I'm reshooting, it's dirty now, but this is the BH Cosmetic V5. I live by this brush. Like, it is tape, it's kind of like a little taper at the end, stiff enough so that it blends really well. And with that, I'm going to use the color Innocent. And we start very lightly. You start in the crease. So if you have smaller eyes, stay really well within the crease. I have hooded eyelids, so I actually start in the crease and then I try to build up pretty high because, you know, a lot of my eyeshadow gets sucked into my eyelid. Like when I look straight ahead, all of this goes in, so I lose a lot of real estate. But fortunately, my eyebrows are pretty high, and I actually get to work with a lot more room than some. So we're applying that base color, and you know, fortunately, because we have the tape there, we don't have to worry. And with smoky looks, what I have to tell you is always give yourself a ton of time. Like, this is not an eyeshadow look that you want to do in a hurry. You don't want to rush. You really want to make sure that you've given yourself plenty of time to work with it. Because what the secret is you want to take your time and blend all those colors. Like, I'm working it up. It's not doing, you know, much, but it's still applying the color where I want it. So next I'm going to go in with Whimsy, which is this beautiful orange terracotta color. I'm gonna go a little lower in my waterline, in my crease, and then keep it a little lower with a clean fluffy brush, which the one I'm using is a BH Cosmetic 101, soft like this. I'm going to go and blend out those edges. Just, you know, make sure that everything is nice and seamless. You want those colors to marry each other and just be nice and soft. So again, on the other side with Whimsy, We go a little lower into the crease. You don't want to go too high. I am like a super fan of orange colors, by the way. Like, I think they just blend beautifully and they somehow get everything together so nicely. It's a great transition color. Like, I love it. You always find, you know, new tricks, and orange is like my favorite transition color. It is gorgeous, and it somehow blends with every other crease color that you use. So like this. And if you're using a different palette, just look for colors that start very light and transition into something in the middle, because you want every color to kind of just move up a few steps. Like, you start really light, then you go a little deeper, then a little deeper. That's how a nice smoky eyeshadow look gets blended so well together. So there you have it. Now we're going to continue to the video. It's going to be daytime. I'm sorry guys that it's going to be so odd, but I really wanted to show you this part because I think it's so important that you get the basics, you know, like why the tape is there, what you do to start with. So let's continue with the video. So smoky without being overboard. So now I'm going to use the color Smoked. No, I'm going to start with Edgy. And then for Edgy, I'm going to use that same 118 brush. And then this time I'm going to concentrate on the outer corner. We're going dramatic, but not like I said, something that you couldn't wear to work. And I'm really depositing the color. I want to stay with that same brush because it has that nice density and it deposits the color really nice and dark. Alright. And this time, as you can tell, I'm not going any further than my crease. Like, this is as high as we're going to get. You really need to stay in that outer corner. Okay. So I've done that side. So I use a lot of drugstore products. So I can tell you that typically I would have a ton of fallout because it's just the nature of those, you know, shadows. When you're going into dark colors, it tends to kind of run. But with Tarte Cosmetic, you know, you really get no fallout. It's pretty amazing. Love that palette. So I'm going into that corner. And yes, right now it's going to look harsh. It's going to look like not blended. We're not there yet. We're not blending this color quite yet. We're depositing it. And then we'll blend it. Okay. Then I go back with fluffy brush and blend everything, making it look like it's part of my skin. Alrighty. So now that I've deposited the color in the outer corner, with that same Edgy, I'm actually going to go further up. Like, I looked at it for a second and looked in the mirror and I decided this isn't quite as smoky as I want to go. So I'm going into the inner crease, and what I mean inner crease is like really under that brow bone. I'm so sorry. That bone, like where your eye socket is. And I'm going to deposit the color. So go over the tape, make sure it's like all in there. So this is with our nice dense brush. And this happens a lot of time. Like, I'll be starting with my eyeshadow look and I'll tell myself I want to do this. And as I'm going, I'm like, nope, I want to do more. So that's what happened here. Like, I had one idea of what I wanted to do, but as I was executing it, I decided I wanted to do more. So I did. So what that means for me is we've done all this work and we're gonna build on it. And that's what's awesome about makeup, is that you kind of get to go however you want at your own pace. Like it's art. Like it literally is whatever you want it to be. There are no rules. You know, I started one way. It's still gonna work. You know, nothing is like set in stone. Like we're not gonna like, oh my God, I started one way and I'm going another direction and it's gonna be ruined. It isn't. We're going to make this work. I'm gonna go back with Whimsy. And the reason I'm doing that is I love orange shadows as blenders for darker colors, and see how like beautiful that looks when you mix it with that edgy. And because Tarte Cosmetic shadows are so great and blendable, like you get a ton of pigment and they blend like a dream. So like there I am. It looks like almost like a fall sunset, like so gorgeous. And here I am just blending these two colors, making them be friends and married together. Like I said, started one idea, tossed it out the window, and now we're into another. So, and I'm going back with that dance brush, making sure that my eyeshadow's even and pigmented on the edges. And I'm bringing it in a little more towards the inside because I want to get dimension in there. So don't worry, see how like right here there's like little weird areas? Don't worry about that. We're gonna fix all that in just a moment. So now I'm going in with an even denser brush, and this one's gonna be a BH Cosmetic 103. And this is what the little tip looks like. With that, I'm going to go into Smoked. Yeah, Smoked is the gal here. And then we're gonna apply that all the way in the inner corner and see how that's even darker. This one I'm gonna stay pretty low with, but still pull it in. And then all the way to the edges. So now we're getting like that really vampy, smoky look. And primarily what this dance brush will do is deposit the color. You know, you're not gonna be quite blended yet. Like right now I'm putting my colors down and then we're gonna marry them in a second. So, you know, it's funny because I'm right-handed and I feel like my left eye always comes out looking nicer than my right. But I think it's like, just, I don't know. I like that side of my face better, so I'm nicer to it. I don't know. I don't know what it is. So. Or maybe I just don't turn to that side quite as much. I don't know. So I'm using a clean, fluffy brush. This one's a BH Cosmetic 101 like this. I'm gonna go on the inside and start blending that in. You don't want any harsh lines. And then when we're done blending that inside, let me see, I feel like I'm more in on one side than the other. There you go. Okay, so nice and smoky. Blend that in. And then we blend the outside, like no harsh lines here. There's nothing on that brush. Like this is literally just, see how like that softened this side up? Like we felt like that was a little harsh. It will literally soften everything for you. So there we are here. Now I'm going to apply that gorgeous color. We'll go with Glam. Probably Glam. And to apply it, I'm going to use another small flat brush. Let's see, which one do I want? I actually love my e.l.f. Cosmetic, my Wet n Wild, this little Wet n Wild brush here. And I'm gonna first start out with it dry. And then apply, oh God, that's gorgeous. Yeah. Oh my god. And why do these eyeshadows smell so good? Like, this is like dream eyeshadows. Okay, so I go right in there. See how right here it's kind of harsh? We'll fix that in a sec. Okay. I want to get right in there with that really nice gold color. I'm going pretty high because I'm going to layer that with other colors. So go back in and correct this, but I wanted it all the way up. Like, you know, you could almost call this a cut crease, but not quite. And then we're gonna go back in with this one's a MAC brush that I have for 1,000 years, and I don't remember what the number is, but I really love it. I'm gonna use Ethereal, which is like a true gold color, and then blend that in the middle. See how like that actually makes it a smoother transition from that really light color into that dark one? That's what I want to use right in the middle. And don't worry, we're gonna work that back in with the dark. When you're working smoky eyeshadows, you're gonna do a lot of back and forth. Like, you're trying to get smoky darkness in there. So you're not gonna get that in one shot when you're applying so many colors over each other. Okay. Oopsie. Go back in with gold. That ethereal color. I'm sorry, I'm French Canadian and I actually have like a really hard time with certain words. I don't care how long I've been here. Can't get them down all the time, so. Alright, so now we're coming together pretty well. That looks really pretty. I'm going to really kind of glam out that inner corner with an even more precise brush. This one's from Wet n Wild. So I think a concealer brush, I'm gonna wet it. And closer to the inner corner, I'm gonna take that Glam color and really pack it on. It gives it a different texture altogether. Makes it look really pigmented and like metallic and gorgeous. So metallic colors just honestly work best when you wet them. But I wanted to give it its moment with some softness. See how like I got a little, there you go. So, alrighty. So this is what we have so far. So now that we've done like all the smokiness, I'm going to go back in with that little dense kind of precise brush and use smoked a little more to recreate that crease here. You know, we did say we wanted drama, bring it in. Sorry. And don't worry, if we're creating more harsh lines, we're gonna blend them out again. You know, when we went in with those lighter colors, we kind of diffused the black, or I mean, this is a dark chocolate color. So we want to kind of recreate that crease. Yeah, we are going for a smoky look after all. Like this. And then again with the V5, going into Whimsy, and I'm going to bring it in a little more. Personally, I love oranges, okay? So this is like a really beautiful brick orange color. I think it makes my brown eyes pop quite a bit. So I love it. Like, and now we're going in with a clean brush and just kind of softening that out. So that's that. Now I'm going to remove the tape. And look how like sharp that is. Like that is super sharp and beautiful, and we didn't have to do that much work to achieve that. So I love cheating with tape. It's awesome. Now that we've done that, I'm going to go ahead and do a highlight color on my brow bone, and I'm going to stick with a matte because we have so much going on. So I'm using Classic from the Tarte Cosmetic palette. There you go. So off camera, I went ahead and primed my face, put my foundation, mascara, concealer, did my eyebrows, contoured, I did everything. Of course, I'm a pig, so I actually got foundation on this white top. Not even shocking, so that I could show you how to finish this look. I did a BH Cosmetic foundation, which is kind of a medium coverage. I'm doing such a dramatic look. I kind of wanted my skin to be a little more natural. But let's go ahead and finish out the eyes. Like this tutorial is mostly about eyes. So with that small crease brush from Wet n Wild, I'm going to take the color Innocent, and everything we did to the top, we're going to also mirror on the bottom. So Innocent on the other side. And I'm smoking it up pretty low because I want this look to be dramatic. And this is when you start blending to the top. Like, I know we have that really nice sharp line. You're welcome to keep it. I personally am not that big a fan of that. And I like to blend my top to my bottom pretty smoothly. So I'm going ahead and going into that line and blending in. So now with a slightly smaller brush, this one is an e.l.f. crease brush. It looks like this. It has like a little angle, which I like. I'm going to take that Whimsy color and again do the same thing. We're going under. I'm staying a little closer and then blending into that line. You're welcome to keep that harsh line. Like, I know a lot of people think it like looks really beautiful. Like I said, you know, if I were to wear this to work, I wouldn't want anything like super structured and scary that would, you know, kind of push my patience away. So I try to do things that are dramatic, but still like very soft and blended. So now that we've gone in with that color, which, as I said before, I love oranges. I'm going pretty far up. We're blending, smoothing that out. We are going to go ahead and use that, what was it again? I don't have my glasses on, so I can't see anything. Smoke color. And I'm using another e.l.f. brush, which is a smudge brush. It looks like this. And this time I'm going to stay really just on the outer corner, not going any further, and blending into the top. And we're trying to stay a little closer to the lash line, like so. And then what's going to blend it in is this little brush. You can go and bring that in with that brush. Okay, so since this is a really nice and structured look, I'm kind of debating whether I want to do a wing liner or not. I mean, I love wing liner though, so I think we're gonna wing it out. I'm going ahead and doing a wing liner. I'm using my Wet n Wild Mega Liner in black. This is one of my favorite liquid eyeliners. I did a little tutorial on beginners eyeliner, wing liner, and hopefully you had a chance to watch it so you can kind of start practicing. And then we go right into the inner corner. Really get close to those lashes. And then what's nice is we have a line to follow this time because of the eyeshadow being so structured. I'm sorry I'm not talking. It's, you know, we all know, can't chauffeur around liquid liner, but still, I can't talk at the same time. As you can tell, I blinked and like I have a little line there. I'll fix that in a second. Other eye. All right, now that we have our eyeliner on, I'm going to go back with the Glam color and my little Wet n Wild, I think they call it their concealer brush, can't remember, and then just kind of re-highlight that inner corner. This is a summer glam look, and what I mean by that is like in the fall, I love really, really dark colors, and I love it to be super smoky, and I think this is nice because you could actually wear it to work all day and then throw on some lashes and then go out for an evening. If you're afraid of doing wing liner, or if it's just not your preference, use a you know, pencil liner and smoke out the lash line. I think that would be really nice. Let me find my Beauty For Real eyeliner. We have to do the bottom lines. Here it is. I'm really, really in love with this eyeliner, by the way. And I apologize for that really nice sunbeam right in the middle of my face right now. This is apparently where the sun wants to be in my beauty room right now, so I hope you guys don't get too bothered by it. Smoke it out. So super pretty. I think this is soft. I'm going to go ahead and put mascara on and put some lashes, and I'll be right back. Alrighty, boys and girls, so this is the final look. I went ahead and applied my lashes. I you know, did a setting spray. Super important when you know, you're wanting to do dramatic looks. You want it to stay on longer. You do not have to apply the falsies, as I mentioned in my tutorial. You can definitely just curl those lashes, put a ton of mascara on, give it that drama. You can always modify these looks. This is just what I wanted to present to you and what I ended up with. As you can tell, when I started with the video, I was going one direction and then went ahead and changed it. It's makeup. You can do whatever you want, and you know, do something that works for you. When you feel like you're not as confident with a wing liner, go ahead and smoke it out. If you're not someone who's very confident putting falsies on, curl your lashes. You know, we all have our strengths, we all have our weaknesses, and play them up. Do what you do best. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I feel that it was fairly simple and that anyone would be able to do it. And I did really enjoy sharing it with you. If you have any questions, any comments, put it in the comments below. Again, as I always ask, please subscribe to my channel, tell your friends, family, anyone you know, if you really enjoyed this tutorial, and stay tuned for what's next. I'm waiting for my boxy charm. Just want to mention that. So definitely I'll be talking about that. I hear that there's like Tarte cosmetic products in there. Oh, can't wait. But lovelies, thank you so much for subscribing to my channel, hopefully. And thank you for watching, and until next time, bye.